But you see how alone you are? It's just you, surrounded by all this emptiness.
Julie never would have understood you. And society won't either. It punishes people like you, like us.
FBI, the Army before that, they helped keep me on the straight and narrow path. But now, without that, it's all, I'm drowning in deep water, and I don't know whether I'm swimming for the surface or the bottom.
Dex, you need air.
Let me ask you a question, Craig. This asshole stepdad of yours is giving you so much grief. Why take your own life?
And first things first, we're gonna practice empathy.
What's that?
That means being kind to someone when they're in pain. How about something like, I'm sorry, that sounds hard.
I'm sorry. That sounds really hard.
Sorry. Must have been really hard.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. This is day 60 on my journey of recording myself every single day to becoming a professional soccer player, a business owner, and just a better version of myself. 2 months of recording every single day. Proud of myself so far, but I know that I can keep going. I know I have a lot more to achieve. I have a little bit to talk about today. I just finished editing yesterday's video and I was actually very happy with the way it turned out. I think the points that I went over were really strong, and my talking throughout the video, especially compared to day one, how I used to listen to myself talk, I feel like I've just grown so much, and I'm happy to say that even though it's hard to notice, and there's gonna be some videos where I go back and I'm just not very good at talking, or my points aren't that strong, or I had a bad day, over time, the average video is gonna continue to get better, slowly but surely. On to today, pretty packed day. I had 2 videos of the Gen AI Startup School preparing for the program that starts on Tuesday. It is currently Sunday. However, it is late, so it's 1 a.m. on Monday. Went to the gym, got a great workout in, and then also did my juggling, and then started to do another agentic video, but then my parents called me, and then my friends called me, and we were watching the end of the Nations League final where Portugal has just won. I was hoping Spain would win, but can't always get them, so I don't really control it. It's not going to affect me, and I'm not that allegiant to Spain, even though I do live there. Anyway, getting into the day, I think I had some, maybe not as many points. I think especially on the days that I have those fitness sessions, as I talked about, you really get into who you are. And this is actually one of my points today, is that there's something about being physically exhausted that allows you to go into a deeper insight that you're not able to access just in your regular day-to-day activities. When I have these fitness sessions, I'll run. It started out, it was 6 km, and then it eventually went to 8 km, and then I went to biking, and now it's anywhere from 33 km to my max was 38 point something. I think yesterday I got around 34.46 around, and then said the exact number. But it wasn't one of those riveting sessions where my mind feels like I'm asleep right after it. And that's okay, but I still feel that I was very near that exhaustion where I could get a lot of those insights that help me kind of derive how I want to live and who I want to be as a person. But it takes you to go deep into the darkness and the stretches of what you're capable of in order for you to really figure out who you are and what you think. I'm not sure what the science is behind it, but I know there is something on going to do physical activity when you have a really big problem. It helps you work it out, and then taking that to extreme, I think you really understand who you are and what you are trying to do when you do go to those extremes. I think if you really need to think about something, going for a run, going for a weightlifting session, and during that session, even maybe just taking your mind off it, your brain will be a lot clearer and a lot better at thinking, maybe because it's the blood circulation is so fast that throughout the entire body. I'm not going to get into the science of it, but all I know is that from practical experience and from what I've heard from other people, pushing yourself to an extreme, to a limit, and then pushing beyond that allows you to have deeper insights into yourself. Something I kind of started yesterday, but I didn't really realize it, is that I don't really have a clear picture of my values, and I have to write them down somewhere because I flip-flop a lot. In these videos, you'll see me say, I think this, I think that, or I feel this, I feel that, but I don't have it written down, and then some days I'll be contradicting what I said in a previous day or in a previous week. I think taking the time for me to write down what I think are truths, what my beliefs are, is something that was going to benefit me to where I can use those to align my life. They're not going to be set in stone. They could be updated every year, every month, every quarter. I'm not really sure what's going to work for me, but trying to write down what I think are truths and how I want to live my life. So for example, something that I want to write down is that in a relationship, I want someone who's going to push me to be better, and I'm going to push that person to be better. I think that the point of getting in a relationship with anyone, but especially like a romantic partner, is that you have to have some aligned values. And one of those aligned values that has to be, for me, is that you both want to become a better version of yourself to an extreme. It's not just like oh yeah, I kind of want to do. It's like you want to be better. I think I already have that, but if I'm not with someone who has that same mindset, then it's going to cause a lot of tension in the relationship, and it's ultimately just not going to work out. So one of those truths is that if I get in a relationship with someone, they have to be someone who's going to push themselves to be better, because then they'll also push me to be better, and I'll push them to be better, and together we're going to raise each other up. I don't have exactly everything written out. I don't know where I'm going to write them out. I might type them out so that I can modify them in the future. They could just be in a notes document that's pinned. Having them written out and in a place that I can check back on them if I am faltering or questioning like who I am and what I should be doing is important. Next, you're not going to be able to avoid all of the feelings. Some of them you're going to have to learn how to respond to. I mentioned framing twice in yesterday's video, and that is what I'm talking about now. You're going to take the information that someone gives you, and you're going to have an automatic reaction to that information. If you find that there are reactions that you're not really proud of, you have to consciously slow down and make a decision / a new reaction so that next time and over time it becomes second nature. So the example I gave yesterday is that when someone kind of like doesn't show me the response in texting that I set expectations on them, first of all, I should not be setting those expectations on people and then getting disappointed when they don't meet my own expectations. But if I do subconsciously set those expectations on someone else, I expect not even them, just people in general, to have a response time of a day. If they don't meet that, I will initially get mad at them for not responding, not respecting what I feel is a regular response time. I have to consciously change my brain to where I cannot allow them not responding within a day to get under my skin. If it's something that ultimately doesn't really matter, a girl texts me back, doesn't really matter. There's 4 billion people in the world. This one girl isn't really going to make a difference in 1 year, in 5 years. She could make a difference, but likely not. This isn't subject only to this girl. This has happened before when I've been denied. I've asked a girl out and I get denied. I really liked her. Or if I am texting like a friend and they don't meet the standards that I want them to. In my opinion, the standards are low. It's just responding in a reasonable amount of time. But I still can't get mad at them. I don't want anyone to be able to get under my skin. I have to reframe my mind to where I can't control how fast they respond. Finally, I think this has been really important for me. It's a question that I came to at the gym. I was thinking about, I'm a schemer. So even though this girl is taking a really long time to respond, I actually do really like this girl, and I'm gonna still try my best to perform as well as I can in the text. But I was thinking about how I was gonna respond, because we are just like in the introduction phase. So we're gonna be talking about like, oh, what have you done for the past like 2 months? But I was thinking like, oh, what do I wanna tell her? What do I not wanna tell her? And I came to the realization, like, why am I afraid of who I am? I didn't wanna mention the YouTube, which is the biggest point that I think ties to this. In general, I don't really wanna mention that I am recording these videos, that I am doing these things. if I'm going to have to do it eventually because people are going to see me recording, they're going to hear me recording, especially if they are living with me. Why am I afraid of what these other people think? Especially going along the point of the yesterday and today, I don't want to allow anyone to get under my skin. So I have to be better at doing the things that I would do in private, in public as well. I don't want to be someone who doesn't live up to who they want to be because they're afraid. In the future, as I go along, I don't have to post it everywhere saying like, oh my God, I'm doing this YouTube channel or I'm making this business. I've been really afraid about posting about my business on my LinkedIn, even though I'm not even close to launch yet. I have to get over myself, get over my fear of what other people think, because honestly, probably they just don't care. Or they might say like one quip about it and then move on. People don't really care about you as much as they think you do because everyone's too busy thinking about themselves. Building on top of that, I don't want to show someone I'm not. I feel like I've done that a lot in my life and I'm done with it. I want to find people I really connect to, and the way to do that is I have to be open with what I'm actually interested, what I'm actually doing, and be okay with talking about that. Even if they might not have the reaction I want, I have to be okay with that. I can't control how they're going to react to what I have to say. Unless I'm going to say, I'm not talking about saying something like disrespectful. It's just talking about like, oh yeah, I record myself every single day and talk to the camera, try to teach people from zero to I know in the future that I'm going to be successful, trying to show them the journey of what it takes to be successful and what I've learned along the way. You're going to meet people who aren't going to fuck with what you're doing. You're going to meet people who are going to be like, oh my God, that's great. Either way, you can't let either of those reactions influence how you interact with people. You have to be yourself because one, you're going to better connect with the people. And then two, you can't hide forever. I think you can't hide forever and have a fulfilling life. If you hide who you are, it kind of eats that way at you inside and you can't really be that fulfilled. That's why I've kind of liked living alone, because I can be who I want to be without the influence of other people because I don't see them. It did take a little bit of an adjustment. I had that day where I wasn't doing great, but since I've honestly been absolutely great, I can just push myself continually to try to maximize as much as I can within the day. I've been enjoying it a lot. I've been doing everything I want to. Although I still want to do more, it's been great. And now I have to work on, when I am living with other people, still maintaining who I want to be in front of that other person and not kind of conforming to either what they do or to what I think would be an acceptable version of myself. Because at the end of the day, the most acceptable, there's obviously exceptions to that. I'm not even gonna get into it, but the most acceptable version of myself is going to be my most authentic self, and that's going to be what I would do in private, which is doing the YouTube channel, which is doing my juggling alone, which is going to the gym every day, which is coming home and watching videos on generative AI, which is talking about with my roommate next year, using Google Flow and Google Veo to generate videos and then try to see if we can post it on social media. We're talking about that today, seeing how if we could take popular franchises like Star Wars, for example. There was this clip he sent me, or there's this Instagram reel he sent me where it was like a POV from stormtroopers who were on deployment in Tatooine. I was looking it up. You can't monetize that because of copyright laws, but there's things around, there's other things that you can create with the Google Veo that you could copyright. A good example that I saw was there's a really big trend right now of one gorilla versus 100 men. Someone's doing a POV of one gorilla versus 100 men. And that's something that you can monetize because there's nothing that would be copyrightable in that. So it's just thinking about that. There's different memes and stuff that are very popular. We could create specific accounts for those and then try to grow them and then monetize them from views. Although I don't know how easy it is to do that on Instagram. Maybe sponsorships are the way to go for that. Just growing a channel and continually posting, I think, would be a good experiment, especially for him. I'm not doing this. I'm more so thinking about it of trying to start it with him so that he can continue it on his own, and I don't really benefit from it at all. But I know he wants to do something with business, but he hasn't really had any ideas. but this would probably be a pretty good thing for him. He just kind of has to start. And I have a little bit more knowledge in the generative AI space. So if I can help him get started and he can just kind of continue it once I explain it to him, then I'm happy for him. I want the people around me to win. And if I have to help them get started a little bit, then that's fine. But they still have to have that fire in order to get to that point to where they're motivated enough to start, to want to build a business, to want to be better. I think I got a lot in. I think my talking was pretty good, at least better than how I started making these videos. My ability to continue to talk, to continue to stretch out, not even stretch out, but to continue to think through my point while talking, I think has improved as I've been creating these videos. And I hope over time it continues to get better and I continue to become a better articulator, a better speaker, a better thinker, especially on the fly, because all I'm really optimizing for is in the moment when I am talking to someone, or if I am talking to someone or interacting with someone in some way, I want to be able to perform at my maximum capacity. I don't want to have these videos to where I'm running. Sometimes I will repeat something, but I don't want to be running the script over and over again, because when it comes to the moment when I'm talking to an investor or when I'm talking to a girl that I like, I'm not going to be able to check ChatGPT to write me a script or redo a take. It's one take and that's it. That's why I think the improv is pretty good. I do have the points that help me along because I have some things that I really want to talk about and really want to get through. I don't want to have a script that I'm just reading off of. I want it to be kind of more authentic. And maybe not journaling before is the way, because then it's even more improv. I do have the points, as I said earlier, but not thinking about it through, like fully through before, because there's going to be some times where I'm just going to have to get a topic or get a question, and based on the knowledge that I already have, be able to respond in an adequate way. That's all I have for today. Thank y'all for watching day 60. Hope y'all get some value from this. I hope the value that I'm giving is continuing to get better. I hope my videos are continuing to get better and more interesting. I think I have scratched the idea of doing an intro and then just doing the montage at first, get the little dopamine kids to watch that part, and then in the second half, the talking part, have the value of what I'm like kind of realizing and how I'm applying it to my life, and then hopefully you can take that and how you can apply it to yours. But thank you for watching day 60. Good night.